Hey everyone, this is Max from Unsubscribed Healthcare, and today we're going to go over the Intro tab. The Intro tab is part of the Premade templates, and it is one of the areas that is used to send out email notifications as well as set up the multi-select function. First, you'll see here we can add triggers. When we click on Add Triggers, it's going to ask for authorization. Click Advanced, go to Unsub 2.0, click Allow. After that, you can see email notifications enabled for this patient. After you have clicked on the Add Trigger button, what you're going to want to do is you want to hover over the hashtag REF, click Allow Access. Once you see Successfully Connected, now we're going to want to choose a clinician so that we can connect to the shortcut database for that clinician. So come over to Eval, select the provider in cell A7, and click Update Shortcuts. Once you see Successfully Connected here, we can go back to the intro and you can see that it is successfully connected already. So when A3 is successfully connected, that is for shortcuts, and when A2 is successfully connected, that is for the data center. As you can see here starting in row 8, we have the email notifications. The purpose of this is to be able to send yourself an email. In order to set this up, you'll need to put your email into cell A22, as well as B22 to confirm the emails. If the emails matches, then it's going to be able to send out an email as yourself. What the program does is it looks to see if column E is equal to true and if column F has a box that is checked off. As long as those two conditions are met, by 7 a.m., it will send out an email to yourself with the subject line and the message to send. All of this is customizable, and you can create your own template and your own email based off of what conditions you would like. Here you can see I use the example treatment A15. So the treatment tab is the tab that we document the treatments on. If the last date, which is in cell A15, you can see here this is where the date of service is held. If that is more than 7 days ago, it will send an email when this is true and this box is checked off. This is the email that it will send. So now you can customize and make your own emails, and you have up to 5 options that you can do for yourself. If you want to, you can have the email notifications update based off of the provider by adding in your own formula. There's nothing in column F in the database, so you could use this column to update the formula based off of certain values. So what I would do is that I would also put in the provider's email in column F. You can also add in the other clinicians' emails there as well. Alternatively, what you can do is go back to the data center and go into the company information, scroll over to an unused column, and in this column, you could put in the clinician's email. What you could do is scroll over in the company information tab over to an unused column and put in emails, and then place the clinician's emails into this column. Now we can go back to the SOAP, and then we can come into the database. And instead of typing in the signature manually, we will come over here to this import range. We'll paste it into column F. Instead of company information exclamation point B20 to D, we would simply go H20 to H. Now what you'll see is that it brings forward all of the emails automatically, and you don't have to continue to update it in multiple different spots. What we can do in order to pull forward the email and have it automatically update into the intro is that we'll add in a little formula right here, and we'll say equals VLOOKUP C19, comma, we're going to select the range that we want it to check, which is going to be A22 to F, and the index is going to be column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll put false because otherwise it will just pick the last one. So now you can see that we have max at unsubscribedhealthcare.com, and what we would do is that we would come into the intro and we put equals to, in the email to send notifications to, the A22, we would have it equal to F14, and then we can just have B22 equal A22. Now emails match, and also update every time we update the treating therapist. Now you can see it says John, and here says John as well. So again, that formula that you would put in is equals VLOOKUP, parentheses, C19, comma, A22 to F, comma, 6, comma, false, end parentheses. And then that will allow you to search the area below columns A through F, take column 6, which will be the emails that you add in manually. If you only wanted the email to update based off of the evaluating therapist, what you could do instead of having it reference C19, you could delete that, go over to Eval, and click on cell A7. When you click enter, now it will only have the providing therapist within the eval and not in the treat. So if we come update shortcuts to Max Shippen, say I was treating today and John did the eval, we can go back to the database and you can still see that John is the person that is being referred to, and both John's name is referred here in cells A22 and B22. It's just a little thing that might be nice to automate instead of having to put in the provider's email each time. The person who clicked on add trigger is the one who is going to be sending out the emails automatically. So you don't have to do anything to send out those emails, but it's important to note that that is the person who is sending out the email, is the add trigger person. The other thing that you should know too is that you can change the time of when you want it to be sent out, and you would want to do that before you click on add trigger. The area below is the multi-select. The purpose of this is to be able to add in multiple options from one drop-down menu into a different cell. This is slightly different than what Google just rolled out, and they put in their own multiple select option for their drop-downs as well. When you click on the edit, you can see it allow for multiple selections. This is what theirs looks like. You can see that each of the answers are listed and that they are still in the chip pattern. If you get rid of that, you can make it a chip, an arrow, or any of the plain text that you want, and we'll be able to change this to fit your needs. So in this example, what I'm doing is that I am setting up the short-term goals so that I'll be able to use cell E188 as the multi-select drop-down option. So I'm putting the same options from the shortcut menu into cell E188, so that way when I set up the multi-select, I'll be able to put it into the cell A189. So after you have selected the cell that you would like to be the drop-down, containing the drop-down, which we have chosen as E188, and then we selected A189 as the cell to populate all of the drop-down options. We've also come down here and we've selected by numbers, or you can do comma or bullet points, how it will be selected and how it will be presented. I come here and I click improve range of motion by 10 degrees, and you can see it populates into cell 189. I can then click on compliant with HEP and it will populate again into the same cell. You can also change this so that it is done with numbers, commas, or bullet points. So if we again choose improve range of motion, you can see now it separates with a comma so it doesn't create a new line. And if we choose bullet points, it will now make a new line for each of the selected options. You could also type in this if you choose. And you can see that it will populate it with a bullet point, comma, or number as well. That concludes the guide for the Intro tab. Next up, we will be going over the Database tab.